Hey there, guys. This is Tyler. Kind of a few weird things going on with this show. For some reason, Gables' audio just kind of cut out a few times during the show, especially during about midway through the show when we start talking about the video game awards and PSX, and a couple other times in there that shouldn't be too obvious, but you might notice it's kind of weird, some weird edits. Um, in that conversation, unfortunately, I had to edit out a lot of what he says, and I try to make it as seamless as a conversation as I can make it, with it mostly being one-sided. So just want to give everybody a heads up why it seems off, and why Gables isn't talking so much in the middle of that show, and why you get mostly just me for a good chunk of that. I apologize for that. Not sure what happened, why that is, but hopefully this doesn't happen in the future. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thanks for listening.
Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds podcast. Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds podcast. Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds podcast. Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds podcast. Sit back to the back of the back of the grab a six pack, sit back to the back of the back of the grab a six pack, sit back to the back of the back of the grab a six pack, sit back to the back of the back of the grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds podcast. Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds podcast. Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 240 of the Drunk Dashers podcast. I'm your host, as always. I'm Tyler, and joining me, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing fine, Tyler. Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm actually doing really freaking good because, well, going through
Scared me there.
I know, it kind of like just scared you a little bit, but the reason why I'm doing so good is because I actually managed to beat a couple games this week, and
Nice.
gotta say, man, it's like I pick up a few games here, and all of a sudden it's like I plow through a couple games, like over the span of the week, and I'm just feeling pretty damn good.
Nice, man. Nice.
So, how have you been?
Doing all right. I was losing my voice a little bit last week, and kind of been dealing with the cough and everything, but I think it's kind of, the worst is over with, getting a little better. But other than that, doing all right. I've been playing a couple games this week. I haven't beaten any games this week. Probably the first time in a little while I beat a game in the course of a week. But yeah, I guess we can, since we've been playing, we jump right into them. If it's okay with you, I'm gonna jump on what I've been playing real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Talk about last week. I during Black Friday I bought Fire Emblem Warriors and Ghost Recon Wildlands. So I guess we'll start with Ghost Recon Wildlands. I've only played a few hours of it, and I talked about last week about not really digging Assassin's Creed Origins and kind of falling off on it.
Yeah,
but it was just kind of funny as I was playing it. I was just like, I really like Ubisoft. I used to dog on it a lot back in the day. At the beginning, if you listen to like some of our flashback shows we released, and you listen to us talk about Watch Dogs or Watch Dogs and some of the other Assassin's Creed games and there's other Ubisoft games. And it's just like, man, I really dogged on the Ubisoft open world style, but I'm starting to realize, man, Ubisoft might actually be like my favorite developer. Like, I think I've come to this term. It's like, yeah, I didn't really care for Assassin's Creed, but it's still a really good game. But I just realized I really like that style, like the way they do it. Like, and maybe it was a little burnout factor, but the last few games that they released in their Origins not being in there, but like Watch Dogs 2, and now Wildlands and like the Far Cry games have been, I think, awesome. And as I was playing Origins, I'm like, man, I really like the Ubisoft open world mechanics, but it's like I really don't care for Assassin's Creed. So that's one of the reasons I picked up Wildlands. I was telling you about that for the show, and it's like I just can't wait for Far Cry 5 now. Like, it just made me more excited to play Far Cry 5. And I was like, man, I don't really want to wait 3 months to play it. So Wildlands was $20. I'm like, fuck yeah, that'll hold me over for a little bit. Kind of give me the quick fix I need. And I played it for a few hours. It's not. Man, that game, like, it's weird. Like
how so?
Well, like when you create your character and like some of like the dialogue and like the cutscenes that you have and stuff. It's like I don't. It's so like crazy over the top Americana that I can't tell if they're being like serious or not. Like, are they just being over the top on purpose? Or are they just like, is this like, are they being serious? Like, just how like patriotic they are and like the way they talk with a deep gravelly voice and one of the guys that says shitballs all the time, which is weird. Shitballs, which is really funny, and I need to just add that into my repertoire of things I say. But no, it's just like, man, I was making my character. I'm like, I got to make this guy like the corniest, most Americana guy I could think of. So I put like I gave him like a wife beater.
Yeah.
He's got two like both of his arms are just covered in like American flag tattoos.
What game is this now?
This is Ghost Recon Wildlands, man.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, man,
I don't know why I thought you were talking about Fire Emblem for some shit.
No. Oh, dude, forgot like Marth out there. Shitballs. That'd be great. But no, it's just like at some points, like I think it's funny, like how bad it is, but at other points I'm just like, I just want to like hit mute on this and listen to like a podcast. And just kill things. So I've kind of been doing that, like in a way, like believe it or not, people, I don't like playing Madden all the time. So every now and then, I take a break from it. So it's kind of in a way, been that Madden type of game where I just pop a podcast on and I just kind of travel through the world. And really, all it really is to me is just like the Far Cry games where it's just like you go to an outpost, you got to take an outpost over, and you just like you tag all the guys like with your binoculars, in this case a drone, and or your scope, and you go in there and kill all the guys. And you take the place over with, and that's kind of what this game is like so far. I just took over I just killed the first boss, in the first area, and there's like 6 main bosses, and each of those bosses have like 5 or 6 henchmen, and you got to kill a couple of the henchmen to get to the bigger boss. So I just basically just killed the first henchman. It's like a triangle scheme. If like we were selling like makeup or something, or pyramid scheme, not a triangle scheme, but pyramid scheme. So yeah, it's pretty much every mission is kind of like that, and it's kind of fun. I'm digging, like I said, I'm just digging, like just kind of roaming through the world, listening to corny dialogue and like in a podcast or whatever, and just going through killing a couple guys. Like it's well made. Like I really just like hopping in the helicopter and just flying whatever and just doing stupid shit. But no, it's fun. I could definitely see why, like you can easily get hooked on this game, and like I understand why you platinumed it. Like I can you can just kind of zone out for a while.
Yeah,
much like I do in Madden, and it's just kill a couple hours and like just kind of. I don't take it too seriously. It's kind of fun. Yeah, it's a well-made game. So yeah, it's pretty good. I'm gonna keep playing it. I'm not like I don't know if I'm gonna like finish this game, or I'm definitely not gonna platinum it because that's not really what I do too much. Unless it's Jazz Punk. It's a great game. You should play. I'll just play Jazz Punk. I don't know if I said that in a while. But yeah, I'm just gonna just kind of play it here and there, or whatever. If I don't feel like playing Madden, and I just want to chill out for a little bit, this might be more of my go-tos for a little bit. But the other game I'm playing, Fire Emblem Warriors, talked about that last week, picking that up, and talked about how Hyrule Warriors was one of my favorite games. Was one of my top 10 games of the 2014, and this is it's just more of that, really. It's just like I was telling Gables a little bit before the show that it's just basically Hyrule Warriors with the Fire Emblem skin, which can make a big deal because like the only reason I was interested, like I'm not a Dynasty Warriors guy, never have been, but the only reason I played Hyrule Warriors is because I like Zelda, and this is basically I think that for Fire Emblem fans, and I've never played a Fire Emblem game before, so but for someone that's never played Fire Emblem before, I am actually this game is really good. Like it's I'm thinking maybe I just like Dynasty Warrior games. Like maybe that's just the thing.
Subconsciously you've never known it, but you now like it.
Yeah, maybe I just like I should just buy a Dynasty Warriors game or like just rent one and try it out or something. Because yeah, it's pretty fun. Like I like a thing they've done with it is they try to like tie some Fire Emblem mechanics into it. Where, like you can actually like you can like pause the game or go before you go into like the main battles. You can you have like 4 or 5 different characters on the field with you that you can actually switch through characters. They have like Chroma's in there, Martha's in there, uh, Robin, Lucina,
Yeah.
a few others, and there's like I don't know. There's a story about how like because I guess like in the Fire Emblem universe, like these characters are like in different timelines, like hundreds of years apart or something like that. So like they're somehow traveling through time, and they're all trying to stop a Chaos Dragon. I don't know if that's a big deal in the Fire Emblem games, Chaos Dragons, but is it a big deal?
To be perfectly honest, though, I'm not too sure about that game and stuff like that. But there are references like to like say major evil like figures or like dragons or like specific people in some series, like some games. But
Right.
it must be specific to that game.
Okay, because then like I just beat this guy like Vandelia or Valhalla. I'm not sure, but yeah, like I don't know. I know the characters from like Smash Brothers and just watching Nintendo Directs, so I know of these characters. But they have like you can like during the pause menu, or you can pause or like, going into the battles, you can like tell your characters where to go in the battles or where they should fight at. And they have like axes are strong against swords, and swords are strong against this, or they're weak against this. They have like a triangle thing for like what's strong against what, and what's weak against what. And then also like I didn't do this mode, but you can set it up so like if one of your characters is defeated and in battle, he's gone for the rest of the game.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I turned that mode off because that's not really what I'm all about. And they do have like an RPG element where you level up. But yeah, I mean, it's just like a dumb kind of, I should say dumb, but it's just like it's a hack and slash type of game. You have objectives you got to do, and then there's like sub objectives that pop up that you can and can't you can do if you want to. Like every what you got to do, like sometimes like these characters can't die or these characters, But yeah, it's really fun. I'm actually really surprised how much I'm liking it. I was kind of curious. I'm like maybe maybe it's just a Hyrule. I like the Hyrule a lot, but in fact, like I said, I might just like Dynasty Warrior games, and maybe I should just check one of those out. But yeah, no, it's fun. I don't know if other people like it. I would obviously, I think if you're a Fire Emblem Warrior fan, or Fire Emblem fan, I'd say check it out. But yeah, if you like Hyrule Warriors, maybe check it out too. 'Cause I don't know anymore. I don't know what to think anymore, Gables. Like I find out that Ubisoft is my favorite publisher, and now I'm finding out maybe I like Dynasty Warrior games. My entire video game world is like crumbling around me. I don't know what's happening anymore. Okay, like weird things are happening to me. To quote Toy Story song. So, no, strange things are happening to me. I apologize for that one. Yeah, strange things. Sorry. But that's what I've been playing. Gables, what about you?
Well, I've been playing a couple different games. To continue away from what I've done in Pokemon Ultra Sun, I'm now towards like the third island, pretty much. I'm going through the Aether Foundation for the first time with my character and stuff like that. But I've been taking it a little bit slower than how I normally would, obviously, because of how real it is to be burnt out almost on Pokemon games. But
sentence I never thought I'd hear you say.
Well, to be perfectly honest, though, it comes with anything where it's like, I had a similar type of effect with God of War games for a few years, where it's like, okay, I played 2 or 3 of them in a row. I think I'm going to give it a break for a while. And then all of a sudden, it's like I played through like 3 Pokemon games in the span of a year, and this is my 4th one. And I'm playing a little bit slowly, but I am doing some interesting things in this playthrough, where I actually have an Alolan Raichu now. I got an Alolan Raichu that I just evolved a couple days ago. I actually got a Cubone on my team, where I'm going to evolve it into an Alolan Marowak, which is part Ghost, part Fire, and stuff. So I'm going to test that out, but I got a Fighting type, Hariyama. I still got my starter with me, my Grass starter. I want my Decidueye pretty badly, and I got a Kadabra and stuff, just because. But my team is solid. I have a full set of 6 right at the moment. So right now, I am just going through this game and seeing what other differences are inside of it. There's only been maybe a key couple of things that have happened that have been differently, from a different type of trial during the water, the different type of totem Pokemon to face during like the water trial on the second island. Then there's like there's that new team that I see off and on and stuff. But other than that, though, this is largely kind of the same as in Sun and Moon, which in and of itself isn't a bad thing. But for anybody who's played through Pokemon Sun or Moon before last year, yeah, you're probably not going to maybe be readily as willing to delve back maybe a second or a third time, kind of like how I am doing at the moment. At the feel of the moment, I will finish this game before this year is out. I will make it a priority that this is going to be a game I finish. So, at the same time, though, I'm kind of wondering and really excited to see how the post-game content is going to be and if there are any more type of differences, like, say, differences in trials, differences in the Elite Four and the Champion. Maybe there's something else that I'm missing in terms of, like, how this game is a little bit better than Sun and Moon. But I'm just going to put on record right here where it's like, they should have just came out with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, this type of version, instead of, like, doing Sun and Moon last year. To be perfectly honest, if you're even interested in playing Sun and Moon or something like that, not having played this generation of Pokemon games yet, by all means, go with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon instead. This is definitely the definitive edition of Sun and Moon. But
this is basically Pokemon Star.
This is basic. Yeah, basically, this is what it is. It's kind of similar to, say, Pokemon Emerald, when it's like Ruby and Sapphire, where it's quintessentially the same game, but there are some differences, and there are some new features, and new this and new that. It's the Pokemon Crystal of Gold and Silver. It's the Pokemon Yellow of Red and Blue. For where it's like I said before, same adventure, different types of things. I don't know why, but I wasn't really expecting anything like vastly samey, but then again, Game Freak sort of has a game record of doing that with, like, specific games. Maybe, like, with the exception of Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, which were different, honestly. They were different in terms of how you terrain specific environments, like, not in the same order and stuff. I mean, there were some gym leaders that was changed in that particular sequels of games. But other than Pokemon, I had a chance to start Injustice 2.
Yeah, buddy.
I started Injustice 2. My first sit-down, I played through till about Chapter 6. So, in one night, in one sitting, I've went through the first 5 chapters. And I gotta admit, the story mode was, and honestly, overall, that story mode was pretty good. It is definitely better in terms of pacing than the original game. How there were some moments inside the first game where the story kind of dragged a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I did like how the new characters you get to control a little bit. They kind of have a little bit of that. I kind of had to get used to the whole, like, control scheme things of, like, how you would play games like Injustice, or how you would play Mortal Kombat, to where you have to do specific button combinations and stuff in order to do that, because I'm so used to doing quarter circle and, like, mashing buttons, sort of like how I do with Street Fighter.
Yeah. This one's a little more, isn't, like, Mortal Kombat and these kind of games, like, a little easier to grasp? It's like the 3-button
sort
combos.
Of like, yeah, the 3-button combos are definitely there, but in my personal opinion, I kind of like it easier when it's do like a quarter circle doing this or like doing that. But that's just how I've been mostly playing fighting games. But it's just a small personal thing. But with Injustice 2, the gameplay in and of itself is good. It definitely has the same good addicting gameplay like the original game had, which I was excited about.
Yeah.
So that was my first sitting with the game. So last night, I finished the rest of the game. My total time playing through Injustice 2 was like 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. I went through that campaign, endured a whole lot of random twists and turns, played with most of the hero characters. I gotta admit, though, some of my favorites to play were like, well, obviously Batman was an awesome character to play as. Then you
Yeah.
had like random like speedsters, say like Flash or something like that. But Blue Beetle I actually thought was pretty good to play too.
Yeah, I liked him and all the new characters in the game. I think were awesome. Like Firestorm and my personal favorite in that was Black Canary though.
Oh man, fucking Black Canary was like a freaking beast. I
Yeah.
loved playing as Black Canary. I tried playing a little bit as Green Arrow, which he mostly kind of plays the same as in the first game. Which I liked Green Arrow in the first game. He is a kind of like a little faster character, but he has range. Black Canary, oh no, she is totally an aggro style fighter where she just goes in, just super quick, just lands like a couple hits, like a couple like chip hits here and there and stuff like that. You can link up to like a specific combo into like a fast special or something like that. Yeah, she feels good to play.
Mm-hmm.
But some characters were kind of a little bit awkward for me to use at first. Like, for example, guys like Cyborg and guys like Black Adam and stuff like that weren't exactly like as friendly to my playstyle. Sometimes with like some of the bigger characters, the heavier characters, I kind of need to get used to them because it's like I got to be thinking more methodically and how I can just go through and like time grabs correctly and this and that. But now that I think about it, I think some of my favorite characters were just the ones that I could get a couple hits in and then just spam a whole bunch of like attacks.
Yeah.
So the faster characters like Black Canary or even to a certain extent Blue Beetle or Firestorm.
Catwoman.
Yeah, Catwoman was pretty fun too, I gotta admit though. And pulling off all the specials for the characters inside the campaign mode was just a ball just to see what exactly was going to go on.
Yeah.
I mean, with Batman, he summons his Batwing and stuff, and he just shoots the shit out of like whoever his enemy is, and it's like, oh man, I think there was one thing where the Flash or something like that takes his foe and stuff and just runs through time, and space and stuff like that. Just smashes him through a fucking pyramid and then goes through and gets to another pyramid, and then they meet back in the middle to where both of them different times, like the same enemy that he's facing or something, just smacks into himself.
Yeah, I like the Supergirl was a good one too. I thought she was when I played it earlier this year. I talked. It was like Superman and Supergirl remind me of like Super Smash Bros. Melee with like Link and Young Link, where Link was like stronger, but Young Link was smaller and faster.
Yeah,
and that's kind of
what I feel too. Supergirl was stronger and faster, but she could also be a little bit more like combo friendly too, in terms of like linking together, like her quarter, like the back quarter triangle move or something where she just flies from she disappears off the side, like disappears right behind the character and just like does like a random uppercut or something like that. Just trying to chain sort of like moves like that, that was pretty fun. I went through the entirety of that campaign mode, unlocked a whole bunch of features and stuff like that, and one of the last things I did before I just essentially got through with took the game out of the disc and put it back into its case. I tried out that mode where it looks like you're unlocking a bunch of loot boxes.
Oh yeah.
Like you earn like all these different type of colored loot boxes from like bronze all the way up to like platinum. I think they give you like one platinum thing for finishing the campaign, and then like one gold and like one silver or whatever type of shit.
Yeah.
There was some like various parts of gear which I probably assume would probably have to customize certain characters for online mode. But for me, it's like, you know what? I am probably not going to even want to play this game online right now. So
I tried. I got my ass whooped. It's not good. It was not good.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was the case. So I decided to put it back in its case, put it on my bookshelf. But that leads into the next game that I was playing for this week. After finishing Injustice 2, I woke up this morning and I'm thinking to myself, it's like, I really gotta get back to Mario Odyssey.
Ooh.
So I went through and during the earlier part of this week, I I pretty much went through two worlds. The last world that I ended on before starting up this morning was the Luncheon Kingdom. Yeah, and so, the Luncheon Kingdom I finished up today. I went to... Actually, not only did I get the Luncheon Kingdom done, but I had the chance to face off against that fucking dragon of Bowser's.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That took me out of... That didn't take me out of the experience, though, but that was something out of nowhere, where it's like... It's like all of a sudden, it's like you're flying your balloon, and all of a sudden Bowser just comes up, and there's a big fucking dragon that he's riding. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching here? No, that battle was cool, too, because that's just the thing, man. It's like, it was unique in a way where it just felt like it was something like a Mario boss, you know, where you had to use your cap to get out these certain keys and stuff like that to unlock his weak point, then ground pound him. It's like, holy shit, that was fun. They took something that was sort of dark and not like Super Mario whatsoever. It looked like something out of a fucking Zelda game, to be perfectly honest with you. The whole moody landscape, the whole desolate type of world. They called it the Ruined Kingdom.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was an awesome experience. But it led to another awesome experience in going through Bowser's world and stuff, where it was definitely like a feudal Japan sort of like world, dude. Oh, it had probably one of the best captures inside that entire game, where you go forth, you encounter this little bird.
Oh,
this little bird that has a samurai helmet, and you go forth, you knock the helmet off of it. I went forth and said, okay, I can capture this then. I go forth, I capture it, it's like, okay, I'm like a little bird here, what am I going to do? All of a sudden, I see this little prompt at the bottom right-hand corner of my screen, and it's like, wait, what? I can use this beak to do what? I can flick up the freaking walls, and all of a sudden, here I am, just going forth and just experimenting. It's like, oh, hey, I could do that. Like, around the terraining around the world, I just see the little holes. Not just the walls, just going up and down walls, but I felt like I could potentially break the game just going through and just get into higher reaches here and there without having to propel myself up. But I discovered these little individual, like, diamond-shaped holes that are, like, inside the random portions of the world and stuff, and I end up sticking my beak, and I end up getting a couple power moons out of it. It's like, oh, hey. Oh, that was a puzzle. Mm-hmm. Oh, my gosh. But, man, that boss inside that Bowser Samurai world and stuff like that was cool. That was cool.
Yep.
The final battle against the Brutals, you know, just that big old fucking mech just goes forth and appears out of nowhere, and you just got to go through this and go through that, and it's like crazy. But I will say this before I speak anything on it. It's like, I know this is kind of late for me to say, but this is totally fucking spoiler territory now.
Yeah, no, it's
having both Tyler and
it's been out for over a month. Yeah.
It's been out for over a month. This is totally within our fair use to talk about it. And
spoiler alert: you fight Bowser at the end and you win.
Oh, boy. Speaking of Bowser...
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. I went for the last world in the game. I went through the moon. I went to the moon. Found out how the play aspect of the moon and stuff, how it controls your jumping and all this other stuff. And it led to some funny-ass moments where it's like, hey... Can I actually do a long jump from one platform to another, get that power moon that's timed? And it's like, at first I'm like, there's no way I can get to that far reach. So at first time I do it, I try to bounce off of the side wall and try to do this. And it's like, nope, I fell to my death. Go forth again. I do the long jumping, and it's like, oh my god, I just reach it! And just go forth and just like, right out the very last panel, I just do 4 consecutive, like, long jumps in a row, and I get the power moon before going up. I'm like, how the fuck did I do that? But that was awesome. Oh boy, that final battle with Bowser, that was something in and of itself. Cause
that was tough. I thought it was actually that was the first time I died in the entire game.
That was the first time you died in the entire game, huh?
Hmm. Well, not including like falling off the side or something, but like running out of health. I mean,
yeah, I didn't really die too much when it came to fighting against certain boss characters. I think in aspect, looking at it now, I think maybe it was like 4, 5 times most.
Yeah.
And that was because of stupid things that I was trying to experiment with. But Yeah, it's kind of like a repeat when you face him off against him in the Cloud Kingdom, where it's like, okay, you got these different type of things, but his pattern is kind of a little bit different. It's kind of a little bit like harder now because he's spawning more hats and stuff. And I thought that was it. It's like, okay, there's that, and all of a sudden it goes right where the whole like his whole moon base, his moon castle is crumbling in and of itself. Then you have the like little cutscene here with like Mario and Peach. And all of a sudden, it's like it just flashes to Mario. It's like Peach just like nods to Mario. It's like, yeah, go ahead. It's like, what? What's he about to do? And like you see Mario just toss Cappy at Bowser. It's like, what? What? If you can capture Bowser?
It's awesome,
dude.
I freaked out when that happened. I could not believe. I am not geeked out in a game like that, and I don't know how long.
Yeah, that was amazing. You fucking can play as Bowser. You can capture Bowser, use his claws, and like go through all these random fucking walls and stuff in order to get to the last portion of the game. And the music is pumping in terms of like the last portion of the game, especially when you've reached the final like section of the moon base or something like that, where you gotta destroy those 4 pillars and then go through the stupid metal like that metal brick at the middle of it. Just try to escape, and then it's like it just shows that little cutscene where you just escape back to Earth and stuff like that. It's like that was so good. That was so good. That whole boss battle, the pacing of like the quick escape. Other games have tried stuff that's kind of similar to what Mario Odyssey has done in terms of like final boss battles, but some have really fell flat, or some have really been frustrating to me. The ending to Halo 3 was kind of one of those things that kind of came to mind. It was something similar to what, say, Mario 3, only I'm not driving a fucking vehicle. I'm actually toting a fucking 8-foot lizard and stuff and going through walls.
Hey, we got 30-something years of build up to this moment, okay? That was awesome.
My god. It's like 30 fucking years of build up so you can play as Bowser in a mainline Mario game. That is awesome. That was something I never thought that would happen, because the moment he captures them and he delves into Bowser's mind, you see these little flashes of him facing off against Mario in the past like 30 years. Like, what the?
That was awesome. Yeah.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
Is that stock art from Mario 64? Is that his sprite from Mario 3? It's like all of these chain of events that Mario is seeing. I was like, oh, hey, those are the different memories of doing this, and it's like. All of a sudden, it's like Mario? It's like he just wakes up, you see Mario's blue eyes inside the damn lizard's eyes. Like, oh no. Oh my gosh. That was definitely my moment of the year right there in gaming, where it's like, that's up there with, like, say, Zelda, like the Breath of the Wild, me going to the, like awakening inside that pod, then going out and just looking at Hyrule Field for the first time and stuff. But,
that's up there with me with when I uninstalled Mass Effect Andromeda.
That's your shock moment of the year. It's like, I gotta uninstall this. It's literally gonna burn my PS4. Anyway,
or I'll burn it for him, one of the two.
The ending to Mario Odyssey was so amazing, and it led to an even better Easter egg after the game was finished. That major Easter egg for like anybody who's played through the game already and like this, oh man, the go back to Mushroom Kingdom, Peach's Castle, the whole aspect of like going back to there and stuff. That's something you haven't done since Mario 64. Going through and exploring the different types of like around the castle, this and that and stuff. But here's something that you may not have known: you can actually visit that castle before beating the game.
Yeah.
Going to the Luncheon Kingdom, I found the portrait. And I went inside the portrait. It's like, hey, that looks like Peach's Castle. I'm like, oh no. And I go through, and then I see it. It's like, oh my god. And all of a sudden, I see a power star in the top of the freaking fireplace where it looks like Yoshi's been staying. And I go forward, and I touch the power star, and it's the same fucking music that plays when you collect in a Mario 64. The same music. Oh, what's even better, when you go inside that world and you start exploring, and all of a sudden it's like you go into one of the random towers and the music starts playing from Mario 64, you can actually jump inside of a fucking portrait to go for and like go to like these harder boss stages. Literally the music like ba 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 just starts playing as soon as like you enter in the fucking. That gave me a fucking 20-year nostalgia fucking trip right there. Oh my gosh, just the amount of Easter eggs to past Mario games, just the past like different characters, the different type of features. This is a love letter to old Nintendo fans. This is something that game companies lose focus upon their player base for years on end. Like, even like big companies, if you have a customer that's loyal and stuff for years, you want to make sure you put out a product that's going to keep that individual occupied for years.
People are thinking that there might be because Nintendo loves to do 120 stars typically in their games. Well, I need 120 more to get to 1,000. So people are wondering maybe there's going to be DLC down the line where you have 120 more. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into some topics, though. So we got a PSX and the Video Game Awards are happening this next week. We got the Video Game Awards on Thursday night, and the PSX, they're going to do like a stream and everything on Saturday. So far with the Video Game Awards, outside of the awards, they've announced that they're going to show off the new map for PUBG. I think that's just kind of a way to build up hype for it's coming out to Xbox One on the 12th. And then PSX has said they're going to show off, we're going to see Dreams for the first time, which is from what's that company? From the Little Big Planet guys, that Media Molecule? Yeah. They're going to show off Dreams for the first time in a few years. A lot of rumors about Video Game Awards. Because Nintendo is always showing off something there. First time I ever saw gameplay from Breath of the Wild, before we even knew it was Breath of the Wild, was at the Video Game Awards. First time we ever saw Cranky Kong and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze was at Video Game Awards. Not gonna say which one of those moments is bigger, but they're both pretty big. They're both huge moments. I still remember being at Justin's house and we sat there. We're supposed to go meet friends downtown. They go have some drinks, and we was like, we're gonna wait. We're gonna like Nintendo's gonna show something big here. Like, Reggie's there, so they got something big to show. And we sat there for hours and waited just for this moment. And he shows up and to announce that Cranky Kong is a playable character in Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Oh, and Last of Us 2, they're going to show off some more from that at PSX as well. So, I mean, I don't know. We talk about it every year. We usually watch them both. If I was a betting man, and there's betting lines in this, I'd put mine down that this is where we're going to see Champions Ballad and get a release date. Because it's supposed to come out in December, and the show's on December 7th. Not a lot of time. They're going to want that out probably a couple weeks before Christmas, so I wouldn't be surprised if they announce that, and then, it's out the following week for Switch, so, and Wii U. That's what I think. They're saying that there's gonna be more premieres and trailers than ever before. So, and the Gillette mock guy, costume mascot guy, won't be here this time. He confirmed that on Twitter. So thank God for that, because that sucks. You gotta take the good with the bad, I guess. You want the show, you gotta have shitty, annoying Gillette guys. Or is it mock? It was mock. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever. But I don't know. I mean, I like it. The first year they did it, it was better than the Spike TVs by a long shot. But they've definitely improved it, streamlined really well. I'm hoping we get to see something from Kojima. Del Toro is supposed to be there. I look forward to it. I'm hoping, and the quality's been good. This is kind of like the most real Video Game Awards show out there. As far as I think it's all of they take all the votes from IGN, GameSpot, Giant Bomb, Kind of Funny, Easy Allies. They kind of everybody votes. All the main people there vote. So it's kind of the real gamers award show. So it should be fun. There's some, could be some good rewards brought out. Hopefully some cool games shown off. And then also, like I said, PSX is a couple days later on Saturday. They've had a couple good showings the last couple years. So I'm excited to see more Last of Us 2. I don't know how far out the game is, but And maybe we get to see something. I'm hoping we get release dates. Because there's like God of War. God damn it, what's the robot game? Detroit. Spider-Man, and there's one other one I'm forgetting. Another PS4 exclusive. All those supposed to be out in the first half of the year, and none of them have release dates. So, yeah, I mean, and what else would be some surprises out there too. So, I don't know. I mean, I think it's gonna be a fun week for gamers, kind of like showing off what we're gonna be seeing at least in the early part of next year. So, and I like PSX because like E3 is like we're gonna show you the biggest. We're gonna show you all these big guns and all the stuff that's gonna get the most media attention. Where this is kind of like like much like the video game awards is big. It's for gamers. PSX is for like the real hardcore gamers at the two. Where like they're not gonna. This isn't gonna be all the AAA stuff. This is gonna be like here's some cool digital stuff. Here's some cool games from you played 20 years ago. They're coming out now for remastered them, and maybe the Vita will actually be mentioned for the first time in a couple of years by PlayStation. Yeah. So I don't. Yeah, I am. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I don't know really where my expectations are because I feel like with these, like anything can happen with these, So I was like, I hope we get customer. Really, the only thing I want is a couple of release dates for some of those games coming out in the early part of the year. But other than that, I mean, Champions Battle, those are the only things I really hope we get. Other than that, man, I don't have a clue, and it's exciting.
Yeah.
So,
Best,
but go ahead.
it's like what I said. The best type of showings and stuff for for any one of those conferences are the ones you just don't expect really at all.
Yeah. So yeah, should be fun. But speaking of Sony and PlayStation, people that are PlayStation Plus members, select members, are getting emails offering them a 2-week trial for the PSVR headset, and people that accept it, I think they're doing I think there's like 1,400 people. They have 1,400 of these, so the first 1,400 can get this. And basically, what it is, it's like I said, 2-week trial. And they send you the the Skyrim edition, so it comes with everything you need: the Move controllers, Skyrim VR, one of the new demo discs that comes with the new edition of the PSVR headset. Basically everything, in the camera, everything you need to play it on your PS4, and you can try it out for a couple weeks. And if you decide to keep it, if you don't send it back after 14 days, you give them a credit card number or card number, whatever, and they charge you $300. So,
Okay.
and this bundle is $450. So, I don't know. What do you think about this, Gables? Do you think this is kind of a cool little thing they're doing or not? Or would you try it if you got that email? Would you do it?
Oh God.
It's 14 days for free.
Okay. To be perfectly honest, I can see what Sony's doing with this, trying to get PlayStation VR, more of it out into the wild, in order for getting people to try it, because what other way can they help sell this one more so than try to expose it to as many people as possible? But at the opposite side and stuff like that, if I was readily offered by Sony Computer Entertainment of America like an option to maybe try out this PSVR for free for maybe like about a week or two and stuff like that, you know what? I probably would try it. I mean, I'm not opposed to maybe just trying it out, maybe with Skyrim or whatever the heck. But after that trial, it just really depends. I probably wouldn't spend $300 on the damn product itself because that's a lot of money, and I'm not really sold with VR as of yet. But to be perfectly honest, though, in the grand scheme of things, I think this is kind of a bad idea. I think it's a bad idea because they are literally shipping out a lot of the various parts to specific people, like say the PSVR itself, the camera, the Skyrim, stuff like that. Yeah, you gotta pretty much figure that anybody who signs in this thing are probably gonna go ahead and switch out a few parts here and there, for let's say like they have like something like an old camera or something like that. It's like, oh no, this is your guys' camera you sent me. It's broken. Do this, do that.
Yeah.
But I kind of think that's a bad idea because of that way where they're pretty much. Oh, let's just be perfectly honest. They're pretty much just sending out a whole bunch of like their own products and stuff to a bunch of random people, giving them like a couple of weeks to try things out. But like I said before, I don't think they're going to get a lot of the product back. It sounds pretty like minuscule or like kind of minor in grand scheme of things, though. But I don't think it's going to work to the benefit of what Sony's thinking, where they're trying to convince people that, oh, hey, this is an awesome product to get. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go and just give you this to try out for 2 weeks. And I don't think that's a good sign. I mean, it's a good gesture by them to let people try out their products, but it's not going to have the desired effect.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me personally, I literally just checked my email while you were talking to make sure to get this offer, because I would definitely, I mean, I want to try it out, you know? And that's definitely, I hope there's like, I mean, Sony, I'm hoping they're smart enough to have some sort of like writing in there when you do this, like this has to be in the condition, all that, and they're going to test them out, and then we'll charge you. Like I said, you have to give them a credit card number when you when they send this to you. So, I mean, personally, like I'm hoping I get this offer, because I would totally do it, because I think the hardest part for the VR is selling people on it, because you can't just like, you don't see a lot of they don't pimp this out a lot on their showcases, like on E3 or when they did with Paris Games Week, because it's so hard to show off what the PSVR is all about and what VR is. It's like when they did the PlayStation Pro conference last year. It's like, oh wow, we like, okay, whatever, because we couldn't tell them. We were watching a YouTube video, you know, like,
right.
We don't have it's hard to show somebody the graphical power or something, or show like the full effect of something when we're watching it on a standard television or a stream. So I would totally try it, because I mean, there's places you can go to. You can go to GameStop. Sometimes some of them have a PSVR headset hooked up. Or the hardest part is just getting this in the hands of people. And I know the PSVR is selling really well. I think it's sold over 1 million. It's the highest selling VR headset out there of the big three.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hope I do get this offer, because I want to try it out. Because there's like, I've talked about this a few times over the course of the year, where I've almost bought it a couple times, and like the library is getting there. There's enough games out there that I'm interested in playing that it might be like, it'd be worth to check it out for. Like, my only problem is, I was like, why do I like? There's some cool looking games out there, but am I gonna like the concept enough? You know, it's like the Wii. There's a lot of cool games on the Wii that I wanted to play, but it's like, I really didn't like the motion controls, you know. So like, yeah, there's a lot of cool games on VR, looking games on VR, but do I really like the motion control or the VR? And this is smart. I mean, I think you can get it in some a lot more people's hands that probably would never checked out before, or haven't. Or, you know, I've done a couple. I played the Oculus a couple of years ago with Justin at an event as one of a tech demo. Justin and I got to play Resident Evil 7 last year. Last spring or last fall. And that's like, he went from not caring about VR to like, he was totally bought in. He bought the PSVR on day one. So yeah, I mean, I would totally check it out. And it's a good, if I like it enough, I'd probably spend $300 on it. It's a $450 package. I don't give a shit about Skyrim, but it's still a deal in the end, though. And it's a $400 thing you get for $300. It'd be cool. And there's like Moss is coming out here soon. Rec Room, the game I've been talking about for a long time that I want to play, that's been on the Oculus, is finally out for free on the PSVR. Doom VFR just came out yesterday. There's like the Rush of Blood we just got for free for PlayStation Plus last month. I think Riggs was free. So I mean, there's enough games out there where I'm like, yeah, like Batman came out last year too. Like, there's enough games out there that and there's that one first-person shooter that Sony released this year. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, I mean, it's. I think there's enough out there that it's worth checking out. But the hard part is, like, you need to buy it. There's a $400 gate you have to open up before you can even check these games out. Right. And we don't even. I'm sorry, my ESPN app's going off in the background there. I left my phone in the other room, and I can't mute. I forgot to mute it. Yeah. Like I said, I hope I can check this out. I mean, like I said, the hard part is getting this in the hands of people. Like Just and I going to a Resident Evil 7 event, like I'm kind of in the know. I spend a lot of time on Twitter, like reading about gaming news and Facebook and looking at GameSpot and IGN and all that. And I remember like the Resident Evil 7 event, like I literally didn't know it was happening a couple miles from my house, and like went until like 20 minutes before the event started, you know. And I text Justin, like, holy shit, Resident Evil 7 is going to be at GameStop. We should go check it out. Playing PSVR. And Justin never would have checked it out. I never would have checked it out, you know. Like, and we're people that's in the know. We're, you know, the smart fans of video games. They use a wrestling term there. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there that don't even know it was really a thing or don't really have any interest in it. And it's like, hey, here's a little trial right for the holidays. If they like it enough, hey, we'll keep it for, you know, for so and so for Christmas or whatever. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like I said, hope I get the offer. I'm definitely gonna take them up on that offer. Literally cost me nothing outside of a few minutes of my time. So yeah, should be could be. I'm curious to see what the effects are with it. But moving on. These came out a week late because of the Thanksgiving holiday here in the United States, but it's one of my favorite things of the every month. It is the NPD numbers for the previous month. So I know it's December, but these are the for October. So like every month they release a lot of stats going on, like talking about the high selling games. So in the month of October, the top 20 selling games of the month were Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege at 20, 19 NHL 18. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands at 18. Fire Emblem Warriors at 17. Mario Kart 8 for the Switch at 16. 15 is Breath of the Wild. 14, Wolfenstein 2. 13, Evil Within 2. Number 12, Grand Theft Auto 5. Number 11, Gran Turismo Sports. Number 10, Forza Motorsport 7. Number 9, Destiny 2. 8, Madden 18. WWE 2K18 at 7. 6, FIFA 18. Number 5, NBA 2K18. All the 18s in there. Holy shit. Yeah, 1, 2, 4 in a row. 4 sports games in a row. Number 4, South Park Fractured But Whole. 3, Mario Odyssey. 2, Assassin's Creed Origins. And 1, Shadow of War. So, I almost said Shadow of Mordor again. Yeah, so October was kind of like the first big month of the season.
Yeah.
Really, I guess there's only 2. But a lot of games came out in October. It's something we talked about pretty much since June, since E3, about how October was a stacked month. And no really big surprises. What's in the kind of the top 10 sports games always sell really well. Destiny 2's second month on the market at 9. But you get the big 3 that came out October 27th with South Park at 4, Mario Odyssey at 3, and then Assassin's Creed at 2. And then South Park came out in 17th. It was Wolfenstein 2 that came out on the 27th, all the way down at 14. And then Shadow of War, I guess, coming out at the beginning of the month, got number 1. But still, anything kind of stand out to you in this month?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, what stands out, it's like those games basically that came out on the 27th of October. We knew they were going to be the biggest releases happening on that day. But considering they had, till the 31st? They didn't even have a week out on the market.
4 days.
They had like 4 days on the market, and it spurred enough sales for all of them to get inside the top MPD numbers and stuff of the month of October. That is amazing in and of itself.
Yeah.
Especially with how high like Origins and like Odyssey went, you know?
Yeah, 2 and 3. No surprise with Assassin's Creed being on 2 consoles and a PC. So
no, but Mario Odyssey being for how high it is and stuff with the Switch, that is awesome.
Yeah, you look at it's true with the
one platform.
Yeah, one platform, and a platform's been out for 8 months, so that's awesome. You know, we got games like all the sports games being on pretty much everything. Wouldn't be surprised if they're still on 360 and shit. South Park being on 2 consoles and a PC.
Well, Tyler, about that, when it comes to like the sports games, I think the sports games have actually stopped producing copies for the PS3 and the Xbox 360 this year, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because you
Good.
look up on the PSN store, like for the PS3, the only recent copies are from 2017.
Okay, yeah, so that would be Madden.
No 2008
Yeah.
copies of like say WWE 2K18 or NBA 2K18 or anything like that. Really, it's like
Well, that's good. All right. Huh. Okay. I didn't know how. I know like you were still getting Madden games on PS2 and Xbox for like 4 or 5 years
well, yeah,
after the
yeah,
Xbox
but
360 came out. So
dude, there still are new games being released on the PS3 and the 360.
I
too.
believe that there's still Wii U games coming out this week for
I know.
the Wii U.
I know,
So
crazy.
yeah. But yeah, no. I mean, I think not really too surprising. Kind of the top 10. I guess a couple just Evil Within 2 being 13th, falling behind. Like a GTA 5. It's kind of disappointing. Not really surprised, but disappointed. Wolfenstein 2 being 14th. I know like that game only had a few days on the market before the end of the month, but I'm happy they're in the top 20 at least. But hoping they'd be a little higher. But the other games are, those games are mature games against a lot of, you got South Park out there, you got Mario, you got big licensed games, you got Destiny. Gran Turismo Sports and Forza Motorsports being fairly low or surprising. Actually, I think it's more surprising is Forza beating out Gran Turismo when it's Forza's second month on the market and Gran Turismo's first month on the market. It's already Gran Turismo is only 11th and it's behind Forza is I think kind of shocking. But Mario Kart Switch 16th. Okay, that's weird. So yeah. Kind of a crazy month. I was kind of curious. I'm curious actually more on honestly how November's gonna play out now. Really, I know we have we have Call of Duty and Battlefront. I'm curious for Battlefront 2 lands, but with some of these games getting more time on the market, how they're gonna kind of span out. But kind of a few notes came out of it. Origins already surpassed in the few days it was on the market. I guess actually day one sales surpassed Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which was the game that came out in 2015. So I guess they're kind of pumping that up. But something I heard someone say once, and I think it really kind of sticks true, is that the game that's bad always sells well. It's the game after that feels the effects. So you look at Unity was broken piece of shit, and everybody knows about the story about Assassin's Creed Unity being horribly broken, but it still sold super well because of day one sales and everything. But Syndicate paid the price for paid for the sins that was Unity. So I think there's some hollow truth in that. To me, it's not as big as Ubisoft is making it out to be. My new favorite publisher, and stupid. This is weird. Dynasty Warriors might be my favorite franchise of all time. I've never even played a Dynasty Warriors game either. I might replace them with Madden. Or replace Madden with them. But NBA 2K18 is now the second highest selling game of 2017, followed behind Destiny 2, which that's crazy. Destiny 2 surpassed every other game in the year in its first month in the market. So, but yeah, and then some other info came out. So actually, the 10 highest selling games that have come out in 2017 so far, I thought some interesting ones on the list a little bit. 10, actually, this is the most interesting one to me. Number 10 was Mario Kart 8 for the Switch. I'm okay. Still, that's weird to me. 9, Injustice 2. 8, Horizon Zero Dawn. 7, For Honor. 6, GTA 5. 5, Breath of the Wild. 4, Madden 18. 3, Wildlands. 2, NBA 2K18. And 1 being Destiny 2. But yeah, I think it was kind of interesting to kind of see where things lied, there, because people were a lot of talk who's going to win out October 27th, and we now know the winner. And I don't think it's really any big surprise, kind of the order it played out on, as far as sales go. But yeah. It was a kind of a fun list. A lot of big stuff out there now. Kind of see where everything's going to lie at the end of the year. But kind of I think next month's going to be big, like we talked about Battlefront 2. I'm definitely excited to see that. I'm kind of curious to see when we actually get to hear sales numbers, which I guess we'll hear sometime in probably late January, early February, and then when the new quarter hits in January.
Right.
Total sales numbers. I think Battlefront sold the first one, the first EA one. I think sold around 17 million copies. So, and early reports out there, it sounds like I know stock dropped for EA, and they took some big hits, and it sounds like it. I'm assuming it's going to sell really well still because it's Star Wars, it's EA, and with the marketing out there. I'm curious to hear the numbers and how it's going to compare against Battlefront. And I'm curious how many people were actually turned off more by Battlefront 1 than the loot boxes. How many people knew about them? I like to hear more of like kind of the casual market of it. That people are just going to go buy Star Wars without really reading into more of it. So a lot of interesting things I think we're going to hear about in the next few months with that game. And surprisingly enough, we went through a whole show without talking about loot boxes, outside of mentioning Star Wars Battlefront 2 here and there. First time I think in a month or so we've done that. But I think overall we got some pretty positive news out of this show, and pretty positive week, which is nice to hear. And I think next week could really be a positive week. A lot of big things happening.
Right.
Video Game Awards, obviously PSX next week, and almost time, Gables. We're a few weeks out. We got a few weeks left till we do our Game of the Year show.
Oh, so, I know, right? This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I am totally excited for that. So yeah, it's going to be a fun last month of the year.
Just a few weeks out, and there's still a lot more for us to try.
yeah. So still got a few games I want to play through before we get there. So the crunch is real for us to see for the last few weeks of the year for us as far as playing games from this year. But I think, you know what, that might wrap up the show this week. Not a lot going on, other than the fact that we're getting Mario cereal, right? You sure about this shit?
Yeah,
Dude.
I heard about this shit, man. That's kind of fucking crazy that it's not only a thing, but it's coming out as soon as like next week.
Yeah, December 11th is when it comes out. And I guess there's like an amiibo thing for it, and it unlocks gold coins and hearts for it. Kellogg's making it. What kind of cereal is it?
It looks like a Lucky Charms, dude.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's like it is. It's Lucky. Oh man, I hate marshmallows. Fuck. This just ruined it. Oh man.
Well, what did you want it to be? Fucking Cocoa Puffs?
Yeah, dude. I'll take. Oh man. Dude,
Mario Cocoa Puffs.
I'll smash a bowl of Cocoa Puffs right now, man. Oh man.
Oh,
maybe some Captain Crunch. I don't care. Cuts top of my mouth. I don't give a shit. It's amazing. Yeah. I got ESPN alert again. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's pretty cool though. I'm excited. Have we actually had true like Nintendo cereal in our lifetime?
Well, no. I think the last major like cereal that was endorsed by Nintendo had to have been at least back in the 1980s, dude. It must have been like the late 80s, because dude, it was like you had Mario and you had Zelda or something like that. Those two series like had their own specific like cereal or something like that. But this is the first that I've been made aware of like actually being a Nintendo themed cereal since then. Oh yeah, the Nintendo cereal system. I forgot about this. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they had a whole thing in 1986 and discontinued in 1989. It was the name of the cereal based off the NES, representing two of the most popular video games. I'm on the Wikipedia page. So they had a Mario and a Zelda cereal. Yes. It doesn't surprise me that they made a deal with Kellogg's, is because Mario has been appearing upon boxes of like alphabet cereal and stuff like that too, and like even some parts like mini wheats and stuff at the grocery store that I've been seeing, and it's in tie-ins with Super Mario Odyssey. Oh my gosh! Yeah, I saw that they're doing like a giveaway for like 1 in 500 people can win a Switch. You buy this box. Yeah, so okay, so all right, man. Apparently, a box of a box of this goes for anywhere from $100 to $200 on eBay today. What? Yeah, if you want a box of that Nintendo cereal system. Oh God! For that, almost like over a 30-year-old cereal box?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd buy it. Not for that much. I would. I'd honestly want. I'd be more interested in trying it now.
You would fucking get food poisoning from that shit.
I don't know, man. I think it'd be all right. It's basically
Dude.
cardboard.
Dude, you'd basically be like that fucking guy Brian Zane on YouTube or something like that. That big wrestling fan actually tasted like the fucking Ultimate Warrior cereal that they had going on right there, and like just all the stale cereal taste. Oh my god. Oh god.
I'd try it. What would taste worse, a Switch cartridge, or any Nintendo cereal system from 30 years ago?
I would say a Switch cartridge because it's like some sort of deterrence from like kids eating it.
Yeah, but this is a 30-year-old box of cereal.
Well, hey, at least it's not some like say the WWF like attitude like beef jerky 20 years down the line.
Yeah, I would try that.
No, you wouldn't, dude. It's like fucking sawdust.
That's fine. It'd be like eating one of those it'd be like eating the bubble gum out of like the old baseball card packs nowadays from like 30 years ago.
Oh god, it just turns into a mushy powder. Oh.
Yeah, it turned into a mushy powder when they came out back in the day. It'd probably already be powder when you got it out. Should be fun. Yeah, anyways, Mario cereal, that's going to be a thing next week. I'm totally going to go to the store and I'm going to go look for that on December 11th. What is that, next Monday? Yeah. Next Monday. Yeah, I'm going to buy some of that.
Oh my god. I'm just going to say this right now where it's like, if like we both get paid or something like that, we just come forth with like fucking 4 or 5 boxes of cereal and the damn.
We'll eat it on the show. That's what we'll do. We're not going to record it, but we're going to eat it on the show.
Yeah, we're doing our Game of the Year podcast, so we're going to have some Mario cereal. Ugh.
Yeah. You're just going to listen to us chew it in a little bit. We'll talk about it while we're with our mouths full. Should be fun. Should be good way to wrap up the year for us. Yeah. But anyways, Mario cereal, that's the thing that's happening. I'm totally in for this. We should get more of these. We should have more video game cereal. What are other like video game franchises that should have cereal?
Doom.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh Lord. Yeah.
You see the fucking Doom guy on the front of the cereal box, and you have the fucking like, you have all the different demons and the fucking marshmallow bits. Then it's just the demon marshmallow bits with a fucking thing of Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, okay.
It just tastes like real chocolate, and it's almost like opening a fucking portal of shit.
Like, it comes with like it comes with a bowl that's like looks like a portal. And you pour the demons into the portal. Oh my god!
And it comes it comes with little toys or something like that. It also comes with a fucking spoon that's shaped like the BFG.
Oh my god! Yes, please. I am on my knees right now. Please make this so. Oh my god.
You just see like Bethesda making a deal with some place like say not like, oh my god, it's gotta be at least like a major brand, not like Quaker or something like that. It's like they just go to Kellogg's and say, hey, we want you to put the Doom guy on our cereal box. This is adult cereal.
Yes.
Adult cereal boxes.
Yeah, you can only buy it in like adult shop, like porn shops.
Just some obscure like a porn shop or in a fucking like they have to just separate, or even if you go to like a retail like Walmart or a Target, they gotta put it in a separate place and lock and key.
Yeah, it's like when you go buy a video game from like Walmart, they get someone from the back to get a key to open it for you.
So you just go behind. It's like you can just like inside the fucking mom box, you just go behind the fucking curtain, stuff like that. You gotta buy, so you gotta be 18 years of age or older to buy Doom cereal.
When you buy Doom cereal, they put it in like a black bag. So you
Dude, your fucking privacy.
Oh man, I was gonna make this thing, but I think we peaked. I don't know if you could beat Doom cereal.
Oh,
there you go, Gables.
Oh man, the best shit is when I just come up with stuff on the top of my head, man. It's just
it is.
hilarious.
That was good. Yeah, it was. Speaking of things that come off the top of your head, we're still releasing a shit ton of the flashback episodes. And I was listening to some last. I usually like listen to bits and pieces of the shows here and there before I post them up to kind of give me a reminder of what we talked about. It's kind of fun going back and hearing how we're talking about and kind of how little shits we gave back then. Not that we give a lot of shit now, but how many fewer shits we gave back then, and the weird shit we talked about, and the snap into a Slim Jim brother, or snap into a straight out Compton brother line from you came up when the episode. So,
I can vividly remember that piece by piece now.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. So, if you want to hear more of Gable's antics and funny shit, check those out. They come out every Thursday on the on our feed, YouTube, wherever. Drunk Nerds Podcast on YouTube. Drunk Nerds Pod, Drunk Nerds Podcast on iTunes. They go up there every Thursday. And at the end of the month, you might notice you get a bunch of them. It's usually because we have a lot of extra room sometimes. I upped our room again on our account for how much shit we can release. Yeah, how much stuff we can release. So you might, at the end of the month, you might get like a small spattering of extra podcasts. But for the most part, they come out every Thursday. I think episode 41 comes out, or 40 or 41 comes out this Thursday. So yeah, check those out. I keep forgetting to talk about those, but check them out. There's some good stuff on there. So it's fun to listen to. It's like a nice little time capsule of kind of where we were and what the video game world was. So yeah, it's kind of fun hearing my opinions and our opinions back and seeing how they changed since then. But yeah, check those out on those places, and also check us out on Twitter at Drunk Nerds Pod, and on Facebook at Drunk Nerds Podcast, Drunk Nerds Podcast. Sorry, on our we have a page and group. Subscribe, and join us on there, and also on Twitch, Drunk Nerds Podcast. So follow us on there. Send us friend requests. Friends are good. I like friends. Friends are fun. So yeah, check us out in all those places. Thank you guys for joining us this week. I was your host. I was Tyler.
And I have been Colonel Gables. Until next week, everyone, I hope you have yourself a fun time doing whatever the hell you're doing. But the most importantly of all, just have yourself a good week.
Yeah. Play some games, and let's start a petition to get Doom cereal.
Yeah, there you go. Open the box, the cereal box, and you just hear the Doom theme.
Oh my God, Gables! It keeps getting better.
Oh God!
I thought we peaked too soon, but in fact we did not.
Oh, good night, everyone.
Bye, guys.